So in typical Tulum fashion, we just lost power. But I started making this video, so I'm gonna make it anyway. And we're not gonna talk about the power outside today. We're gonna talk about the power within us. More specifically, I wanna talk about Neville Goddard's law of assumption, right? And I wanna talk about a new understanding that I have with the law of assumption that allows it to feel a lot more practical, a lot more useful for me. And so, oh, there goes the power. Now, what I really want to talk about is the part where in the law of assumption where it says, basically you're assuming your thing to be true. You're acting as if, right? And now I'll talk about two really key shifts that I've had that will be really, really valuable for you, right? So one shift in this is before I was thinking that to act as if I had to basically become a new person, right? Now, in becoming a new person, that creates a gap, that creates a separation from who I actually am. So then I'm in a space of more lack, right? I'm in a space where I have to try effort to act as if, right? And so then there's this sense that I need to try to be able to actually be with the law of assumption, right? And so a big shift was seeing oh no, you already are that person, right? You already are. And so it's less of try, right? And it's more of allowing. And what I mean by that specifically is, let's say you have a desire to be a YouTuber, or you have a desire to, we can be more specific with my clients, right? Let's say you're building a business, right? And you have a desire to create a specific idea, right? Or have a certain level of income or something of that sort, right? In the past, the idea for me would have been, okay, well, that's not me now, right? I don't have this business built or this product built or these sales or blah, blah. So I have to be that version of myself, right? I have to try to be that new identity so I can fit in with the assumption. When in reality, what I realize now is you already have that desire, right? That energy is already wanting to be expressed through you. So it is yours. It's literally your desire. It's literally you. The big thing though is that often you may try to control what it looks like, right? For the sake of feeling safe, secure, comfortable, whatever, you might try to control what it looks like. Now, if you can recognize that desire is already you, that desire is already the thing that you're assuming that you're practicing in the law of assumption, right? Then all you have to do is just allow that desire, right? When you have the impulse to create a video, when you have the impulse to launch something, when you have the impulse to ask for the sale, when you intuitively feel oh, I'm supposed to connect with this person, right? The big thing then is just to allow that. Instead of being oh, how am I gonna be sure it's gonna work out? Do I need to do these 5 steps before, right? I feel that's a big thing that I'm often saying with my clients is and even a reminder to myself is you don't have to do as much as you think you need to do, right? I talked to some people and they're I need to get my ducks in a row, or I need to do this whole Canva thing before I can actually do the thing. And it's no, you have the desire to do the thing already. Just do the thing. that is the guidance, right? You just have to be obedient to the guidance you're receiving, right? And so a lot of when you making the distinguishment between what I was saying earlier, if you're thinking that there's a gap between you and the version of you that has what you're assuming, then you often are going to think, oh, I have to do all of these things so that I can be this version. Versus if you can recognize, no, it's already coming through me. I just have to allow, I just have to surrender. I have to let go. I have to let go of how. That's the big thing we'll transition to next. I have to let go of how, right? But in that letting go of how, you realize you already have access to it. It's literally already yours. That energy is literally just trying to come through you. You just have to let it come through you versus trying to be good enough or worthy enough or in it or a different version of yourself that can then be worthy or have the capacity to be that thing you're assuming. Right, so that's a subtle shift, right? And really what it comes down to is just listening, and instead of getting in your own way, allow God. Allow God. Now, a big thing, another big thing that I want to get to is letting go of the how, right? So a challenge with this is that when you access this space, right, where you are just obedient, right, where you are surrendered, where you are allowing God, you access infinite possibilities, right? You're in this space, and it's a space of having or a space of being, right, where you have access to infinite possibilities, right? For example, when this is cool because I want to talk about like financial projections. So there's a way that financial projections are helpful for me and a way that I know it's not helpful for me, right? And so if we look at something like financial projections, right? When you or when I do financial projections and I'm just connected to that financial projection as a baseline, right? I like to say like this or more, right? Or this or greater, right? If I'm connected to the baseline of the financial projection, for example, right? I'm open to the infinite possibilities, right? My body is expansive because it's like, this is the floor, or like, or this can be even greater than what I'm imagining, right? What I'm imagining is just the floor. And so at that point, if I'm able to see what I'm imagining is just the floor or just one possibility, I'm open to all of these other possibilities, right? And I can feel it in my body. I can feel the expansiveness. I can feel the inevitability, right? And I can feel a level of detachment, neutralness that I have, because I'm also open to the universe's intelligence and the thing not looking like what I think it's going to look like, knowing that, okay, I'm already allowing the karma and the way it shapes and forms, I'm able to just respond to it, say yes to it, right? And so there's that, right? But there's also the other part that when I get to thinking about like the law of assumption particularly, or law of attraction, things like that, or visualization, right? There's ways where you can fixate on a specific how, right? On a specific way this is supposed to go. And when it comes to projections, like, financial projections or things like that, I notice it's helpful for me to have like a goal, right? It's helpful for me to be like, here's where I want to go. But it's important for me to use the language this or greater, right? Or this, this is like the floor, the baseline. It can get even better than this. Because the minute that I put that as the cap, suddenly I feel constriction in my body, right? Suddenly I feel like that possibility, especially if I'm thinking, if I'm really fixated on like, okay, it means that I need to have 5 people here and 4 people here and 3 people here. Like the minute I'm like putting people into slots to make it so that this manifestation comes through in the way that I am saying I desire, I feel a contraction, right? And part of that is because I feel like there's a limitation in the possibilities, right? I can sense how what once seemed like so many possibilities seems like fewer, or maybe even seems impossible, because then I'm like, well, how is this going to happen, and how is that going to happen, and this doesn't seem like it'll be possible, yada, 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 right? And so these are some nuanced things. And so just to reiterate, the first thing that I am really communicating is realizing that there isn't a separate version that you have to get to. It's more just allowing the impulse, allowing what wants to be expressed through you without you trying to control it. Basically allowing God. When you have that creative impulse, when you have that desire, just reduce the time from idea to execution is another way to say it. Allow it to happen. Allow it to come through you. It's already yours, right? And then the second thing is let go of how exactly that vision you have is going to manifest, right? We all have visions, but it's part of our imagination, right? I know for me, it's like, I used to see a Tesla. I don't see Teslas anymore because Elon, I haven't appreciated some of his stuff recently. But I still see a G-Wagon, right? I see a G-Wagon. I see my family. I see my kids, right? I see being able to take care of my family, provide for them, fly my folks out, fly my family out wherever I want to be able to do that. I see all these visions. I see different shoes I want. I see different ways I want to lead, etc., etc. I see all of that. And at the same time, it's important for me to let go of how it actually happens. Because when I used to do financial projections and I'd be like, oh, I want 10 people into this offer and 5 people into this offer and blah, 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 I would notice it would create a constriction, right? It would create especially the closer I got to that goal, I would notice that would mess with the energy even more. So a shift is, say, allowing that projection to be a baseline. This or greater. Universe, I'm open to it even being even greater than I can imagine, right? And I'm letting go of I'm letting go of exactly how it needs to happen. Sometimes you think you need 5 people for this offer and you realize actually this one person showed up, or this one partnership created what you thought would take 5 people, or there's this pivot, or there's just more efficient ways to do it, or there's something else, right? And so this or greater, right? And I think in that energy as well, it allows you to let go of that client or that prospect being necessary for what you want to create, right? Because then that creates some sort of savior energy of, I need you for this manifestation. When you can step back and say, this manifestation, this what I'm envisioning is inevitable, right? The energy of what I'm assuming, it's inevitable. Like, I actually don't need you for that. This is being created regardless, because this is the vision that's been placed on my heart by, this is the vision that God gave me. This is inevitable. I just have to follow the path to this vision that God gave me, but I don't need you for it, right? There's a difference in that energy, right? And so, yeah, those are 2 really powerful things that allow you to be in that energy of having, of being, and recognizing that you are the assumption. You are the source, right? It's coming through you, right? And as it comes through you, it's also, there's the same energy, you're just being co-created with the universe as well, and you can play with all of that, right? And so, yeah, for me, that has been really, really powerful. Now, one last thing that I'll share is I still am very, while playing with more of the energetics, more of the 5D, I still find it really powerful to bring in the 3D, of course. Now, what that looks like for me, we bring it back to financial projections, right? I think it's really powerful to say, for me, at least, I'm curious how this lands for you, to say this or greater, because this becomes an anchor, right? For example, if I'm saying, oh, I see how these 5 inputs a day, whether it's, reaching out to 5 people a day, right? Or whether it's leveraging ad spend or whatever might be the input. And if I'm wanting, okay, I want to work with 10 clients at this time, or I want to have 40 people in my community at this price point, whatever we want it to be, right? That can still be an anchor. That can still be an anchor, so you're not just directionless. And I feel like that can give you a way to be and have your energy be focused, right? And at the same time, not being attached to it and accessing or greater allows that possibility to feel like easy versus like, oh my gosh, how is it gonna happen? So yeah, some really, really cool energetic things. So this is part of the work that I do with my clients. We're able to see what the vision is. We're able to see the way to get there, but we're also able to access the energy of being, having, being enough, being worthy, opening to receiving, not needing to be saved. And this is work that you're already doing, which is why you're here. And I'm here to be a mirror for you. I'm here to show you what I see that you may not see. And I'm here to amplify, whatever it is that you are here to create in the world as the revolutionary leader that you are, as the visionary that you are, as the rebel soul that you are. And so, if that aligns with you, I have links below where you can get access to my newsletter, and be a part of more of these conversations, as well as links where you can go deeper with me. And, we can see where there's alignment and how I can guide you with your business, with your vision, with your energetics to create what you want. All right? Lots of love, lots of love. Be well. Actually, be great. That's what I'm saying more. I used to say, let's be great, but now I'm just saying be great. Just be it. You feel me? Peace.